Hi everybody, and thanks for joining Stamp with Tracy for today's Well Wednesday. So for Well Wednesday today, I am actually going to make a card using my Tip Tuesday from this week. Hopefully you got a chance to see that. My Tip Tuesday was done by the artist and design team member, Monique. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, so I'm not even going to try. But she called it the Thru Word Die. So I absolutely loved it, and what she had done was cut out a two-step word die that we have, and she used the one that's in the current catalog, that's Happy Birthday and Feel Better Soon, and I'm going to be using the Sending Thoughts along with the Sending Dies. So on those dies we have two dies, one that cuts out the outside of the word and one that cuts out the inside of the word. So you can see both of those there, and that's what you need to be able to do this technique, is the double one, so you have the background as well as the actual words themselves too. So I'm using, as I said, Sending Smiles, and Sending Smiles can be found on page 26 of our current catalog, and the stamp set sells excuse me, for gosh, what did I just see? I think it was $22, and the dies can be found on page 166. And let me grab the price of those real quick for you. They can be purchased for $33. So that's page 26 and page 166. You can find the stamp set and the dies. And I do absolutely love this. And I'm also going to be, sorry about that. I'm also going to be using a couple of folders, Stampin' Cut and Embossed folders, Time Worn Type, and Fern. She used the Fern, and it's absolutely beautiful. I wanted to do two to show you a little bit of different. So here is, I'm using the In Color from 2325 that is called Copper Clay, and I'm using that as my card base. So this piece of paper would be 5.5 by 8.5, and this piece of paper here would be just 1/4 of an inch smaller. So this is 4 by 5.25. So the first thing you should do is run this through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with the outside of the word cut out. So you run that through, and then the next thing you do is, she showed us this, and you can see there's already a little indentation around there, but she wanted to emphasize it more, and I like that. And you don't always, everybody's machine's a little bit different, so you don't always get that indentation around it. So she recommended taking our stylus tip on our Take Your Pick tool and going around the outside of that, and that's what I'm doing now. So I did miss the one step here, and that step is actually embossing it, and I would recommend embossing after you do the cutout. So first step would be cut out the word Sending, or if you have another word, whatever your word is, the outline of that word. Okay, and then you would go and run it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This one is that Fern. I know it's hard to see on this paper, but it's beautiful in person. The Fern embossing embossing folder. And then I would come back and do this part where I just did it with my stylus tip off of my Take Your Pick tool and go around the outside. And you get this nice little indentation mark going around it, and it just adds a little bit to it. So the easy part about this, it's very simple. So I'm going to add, after doing that, that's pretty much it. So you've got your cardstock, you ran it through the machine to cut out the outside, took a piece of basic white cardstock to cut my saying on the inside, and I highly recommend our fine tip glue for this, and also our matte, our glue, our matte that we have. Gosh, I'm drawing a blank on what this is called. Wait a minute. It is our silicone our silicone craft sheet. I like to use that when I'm using glue. And so we have our piece of our card base, and then we have this. So now I'm going to use my dimensionals. I want to raise this, and I want to raise it good, and I'll use a lot more than usual because of that. So normally I wouldn't do that many, but with this look, I think it really looks better with it. And I want to make some close right in here, and I'm actually going to cut and use these pieces here as well. And that's going to give me a nice pop-up right near the words we're going to be adding underneath. That might be a little bit too close to the edge. See if I can pick that up without tearing it. I think what I'll do, so I don't tear it since it's been embossed, I don't want to take a chance on losing any of it because the fibers have been broken down. So instead, I'm just going to cut that little extra piece off. And then going to do another little piece right here to make this close. And then take all these pieces off. I saw another tip from a demonstrator that was pretty cool. She takes her Stampin' Dimensionals and she always colors them with a highlighter, like whether it's all blue or all yellow or whatever. So then when she puts her dimensionals on top, on her card, she knows when she's removed them all because they're a different color. I thought that was a pretty cool tip too. Whoops, don't want that upside down. So I'm going to add that. And this is just 1/4 inch smaller. So I'm going to add that there. Okay, then I'm going to set my card aside, and I'm going to put my word cutout along with a pair of tweezers. And I'm going to use my fine tip glue. I had this open here and I didn't put the stick back in, so there we go. So I'm going to use my fine tip glue, and I'm just going to put little dots all around this cutout word. You can see it's so thin. That's why I like this fine tip glue that we have. And it gives me a little bit of play. So a lot of our adhesive sheets would work good on something like this. But this gives me, having glue, a little bit more play to make sure that I get it to fit into here the way that I want. So I'm going to start by getting my S in position here. And press that down. And then the next part in. And then see how I can play with this a little bit because it's wet glue. And that puts it down in there. And then the only thing I have left to do is this little dot. When I cut out my sending word here, there's a little dot in your eye. You don't want to lose that. And I'm going to come back and put a little tiny dot in there. And then put that down on it. And there's the word inside there. And then what I chose to do for this one was sending. And I'm going to do the stamp that came from that Sending Smiles. And it says Smiles Across the Miles. So I'm going to add some of my mini dimensionals to give that dimension as well. Again, this was my Tip Tuesday this week. So hopefully you got a chance to take a look at that. I know I absolutely loved it. and wanted to give it a try. And I thought, why not use it for my video this week and show everybody how easy it is to do. So it really doesn't take much time. And I think it's a kind of simple card, and it's absolutely, in my opinion, I love it. Simple, easy, not difficult. Definitely something a beginner can do to an avid stamper. And then, of course, if you really wanted to step it up quite a bit, you could add the flowers to it. I wanted to keep it simple. I wanted to keep it so that it could be masculine if I needed it to, which is one of the reasons I chose the copper clay. But if you wanted to make it a little bit more feminine, you could add some beautiful bright colors with your flowers. You could use some autumn leaves, something like that. Now, here's the other one that I made. This one, same thing, did the word sending, all the good luck your way. So there are the two cards. I'm using this technique that Monique called the Peek Through Word Design. And I absolutely love it. Now, this is going to also be my class for September that you can earn free if you place a $40 order and use my September host code, which is always on my videos. It's always in the links. One of the first things you see when you log on to my Stamp with Tracy business page or TNT Tracy Stamp with Tracy. So I'll have that link for the September host code with the video today as well. So you can just click on that. If you place a $40 order using the host code, then I will send you the material needed to make these two cards. Everything will be done for you except the stamping. So I like to pick a card out that is pretty much done for you. So the only thing won't be stamped is your sayings on those die cuts there, but everything else will be done for you. I'll include a piece of paper that I haven't done yet, but white cardstock for the inside as well. So again, a $40 order will get you this class for free. Now you can purchase this class if you don't want to place an order for $20, and that covers the postage and everything to mail that class out to you. So if you would just like to purchase the class, just contact me and let me know that you're interested in the September class to go, and I'll invoice you, and then I'll send the card kit off to you. But earn it for free by just placing a $40 order and using September host code. If you have any questions at all about this, feel free to give me a call. If you're still looking for a catalog and haven't received one, feel free to reach out to me as well, because I have mailed out all of my catalogs. So if you didn't get one and you want one, let me know, and I'll be happy to get one in the mail for you. Thanks again for joining me, everyone, for Well Wednesday. And you know how Well Wednesday works. Don't forget to like and comment, and you could get a chance to win these two completed cards. So don't forget, like and comment for a chance to win. Don't forget, if you place a $40 order, you'll get the kit to put this together for free, just for placing a $40 order with the September host code. Thanks again, everyone. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.